Joe the Shirt is once again off the cuff. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Good to be back. As you may have read on my Facebook account the last couple of days, I've been having some technical and financial issues with the lovely people over at Spreaker. Not that they did anything wrong. Don't get me wrong there. They didn't do anything wrong. But my account with them was tied to an old card of mine, which I stopped using many, many months ago and completely forgot about it. And the annual renewal came up, and so they said that they said that my storage capacity had been exceeded and I needed to re-up. And until I either did that or eliminated some old shows or whatever, I couldn't do a show is what I'm saying here. So sorry about that, which is too bad because actually there's been plenty of stuff I've been wanting to talk about. I wanted to get on the air, but wasn't able to. But now I'm back. Hopefully I'll try to be back on before 10 days have passed by. I want to address really quickly something for I think the last show here, public personal perception. I got a couple of angry emails, and I'm not exactly, surprised by these emails. I am sorry, though. Not necessarily sorry for the things I said, but if anybody that I may have hurt, any feelings I may have hurt, anybody that might have offended, I am, in fact, sorry for this. It's never my intention when I do a show to hurt anybody's feelings or, try to make somebody angry. That's never what I'm trying to do, to be perfectly honest with you. And there's something going on with this microphone. I don't know what it is, but it's not coming in quite the way it's supposed to. If it's not working all that right, let me check really quick here. Sorry about the noise. No, that is correct. Gain is set correctly. Okay, actually that sounds better now. Anyway, like I said, it's never my intent to try to hurt anybody's feelings or be offensive. I only have a couple of goals when I do this show. First and foremost, to release the demons in my head. You all know that. Secondly, is to try to be funny. Thirdly, is to be true to who I am. Okay, and that's very important to me because I don't want to be known as a person that panders to his audience, as a person that is trying to make everybody happy, because I'm not trying to make everybody happy, and I'm not going to try to make everybody happy. It's not what I want to do. I don't like shows like that, But for those of you, and you know who you are, that I may have hurt or offended, I am truly sorry. But by the very nature of this show and the very nature of who I am, sooner or later, I am going to do something that you will find, say something that you will find offensive or hurtful, and it's like I said, it's almost never my intent, and it wasn't my intent in that last show. But I have to be, like I said, I have to be true to who I am, and I'm going to keep voicing the opinions I have, even if some of my greatest listeners, who I love a great deal, even if they get angry with me or they disagree with me, that's going to happen sometimes, and I hope that doesn't dissuade you guys from listening, because I really enjoy that you listen. I enjoy knowing that you guys are out there, and I enjoy hearing back from you, even when you disagree with me, okay? Even when you disagree with me, whether it's your first time hearing the show or your 100th time hearing the show, even if you disagree, even if you want to, choke the life out of me through the microphone, I understand. But you know what? I got to keep being who I am. Okay, that being said, all right. Today's show is called Kanye, Killer Pussy, and Other Rich Pricks. Now, I bring this up because Kanye West is in the news. You may have heard that he was arrested. Kanye West has now reached a court deal, that was last Monday, in which he pleaded no contest to misdemeanor battery charges stemming from a July 19th tussle with a paparazzo photographer, Danny Ramos, at Los Angeles International Airport. Now, according to Los Angeles Times, a video of the incident shows West angrily encountering a group of photographers, putting Ramos in a headlock, and then wrestling him to the ground. Now, Kanye West has agreed to 2 years probation, and in exchange, attempted grand theft charges were dropped. And there's my phone ringing. I don't know why. It's ringing because probably forgot to turn it off. I will get to that. That's my bad. It's very unprofessional of me. It's been a while since I've done the show. That's my bad. Anyways, back to Kanye West. Let's see. West, whose plea deal allows him to maintain his innocence, also must complete 250 hours of community service, finish 24-hour anger management classes, and stay at least 100 yards away from Ramos. Ramos expressed disappointment at the decision. To quote from Ramos, "If I did what he did to me," Ramos said, "I would have been put behind bars." Well, you know what, Mr. Ramos? You're probably right. You're probably right on that one. But let's be simply honest with ourselves. The rich, famous, and powerful get better treatment than the rest of us. That's the way it is. Remember when Lindsay Lohan and Paris Hilton, they go to jail. Okay, they get processed, they get convicted, they turn themselves in, they go to jail, and then within about an hour or so later, they're released because of quote unquote overcrowding. Whereas if you and I went to the exact same jail, they'd put us somewhere. It might be like under the cot of the guy that we're rooming with, but they'd put us somewhere, okay? But Paris Hilton or Lindsay Lohan, you know what? We're full. You can go. What I think is really funny, though, is that Ramos here, one of the provisions here is that there is that Kanye West has to stay at least 100 yards away from Ramos. When the funny part is, it's Ramos who, as a paparazzi, who wants to get closer to Kanye. Now, I want to know what happens exactly if it's Ramos that's violating, the agreement here. He's the one that that goes within 100 yards of Kanye. Is Kanye still liable for this? Or should I think Ramos should go to jail for breaking Kanye's rules of probation here? Oh my God, Kanye. Can you just stop being an asshole for 5 fucking minutes? Seriously. I think one of the worst ones ever was a couple of years ago during some music awards where they gave a female performer of the year to that country chick. What was it, Taylor Swift or something, whoever it was. And she's up on stage accepting her award. And he just gets up on stage and tells people, "Hey, let me interrupt you here, but don't you think it should have been Beyonce that got this award?" And I'm just like, what a dick. I don't even remember if it was Beyonce or not, but I'm like, it's like, imagine this is like your primetime moment. You have just won one of the greatest awards that you can get in your field. And some dickhead from the in the audience jumps up on stage and then tells everybody, "Yeah, congratulations, but don't you think it should have gone to somebody else?" What a dick. I think he should have gone to jail for that at the very least. Speaking of people going to jail, let's talk about Chris Brown. Oh my God. What is it about celebrities, singing celebrities, that they just can't stay out of trouble? According to the LA Times again, Chris Brown was ordered Monday to remain in jail, in LA County Jail, for more than a month after the singer was kicked out of rehab, allegedly making a comment about being, quote, good at using guns and knives, end quote. Apparently that's a violation when you're in rehab. You can't talk about how good you are with guns and knives. Brown has been arrested Friday at a Malibu facility where he was undergoing court-ordered treatment for anger management and mental health issues in connection with his 2009 conviction for beating his then-girlfriend, singer Rihanna. I think we should convict Rihanna to a mental institution for taking him back in the fucking first place. I mean, I find that absolutely bizarre to me, because we're talking about a woman who, was beaten by her boyfriend, another very public figure, and it was a very public debacle that it was. Everybody knew about it. We all knew about it. We all heard about it. And then she wants to take him back. Judge James R. Brandlin ordered Brown arrested after the Grammy winner was ejected from the center because of internal rules violations, including making the alleged comment during a group counseling session, failing to take a drug test, and touching a woman undergoing treatment. The judges ordered that Brown be held until an April 23rd probation violation hearing. If Brandlin determines that Brown violated probation, the judge could send him to prison for up to 4 years. Now, this is not the first time Chris Brown has had trouble with rehabilitation. According to this, during a family counseling session in November, Brown walked out and threw a rock through his mother's car window. He was promptly ejected from the program. And that's what led to the order that Brown to make an extended rehab stay, to complete 24 hours a week of community labor, and to undergo periodic drug tests in his probation for assaulting Rihanna. April 17th in Washington, D.C., he faces misdemeanor assault charges. Brown is accused of hitting a man trying to take a picture of him outside the W Hotel. Brandon also declined to allow Brown to enter another program. So, no rehabilitation for you, Chris Brown. You keep fucking up, you're going to jail. Just maybe you and Kanye could be roomies. Keep the other inmates from busting that ass. But again, the vast majority of us wouldn't get as many chances as Chris Brown is getting, as Kanye West is getting, as Bobby Brown was getting, we don't get that many chances. Typically speaking, it's like, oh, well, we caught you. You fucked up. You're going to jail. Enjoy your new boyfriend. And now let's talk a little bit about other rich pricks, which is 1/3 of our show today. There's a big thing going on these days of people following the exploits of the 1%, of the super rich kids. Well, actually, it's the kids of the super rich, Basically, some people have as many as 200,000 followers on Instagram or Facebook, and really all they're doing is showing pictures themselves. Oh, well, here's one. One Kevin Sacco, who isn't a celebrity. He likes to post pictures of himself in an outdoor jacuzzi in his penthouse suite overlooking the French Riviera, or sometimes he'll he'll take a picture of the receipt where he spent in Italy 10,000 euros or nearly $14,000 with friends at La Maison Blanche in Paris for the most recent birthday. Or he'll put a quote on on Twitter, or I'm showing off my parties, my bottles, my clubs, my travels, and people love this, said Sacco at Prince of Italy on Instagram. What a fantastic life, I say myself. You have a good life, just enjoy. And people are getting pissed off at these kids. Despite the fact that there's like I said, several 100,000 people following these guys. And there's a brand new TV show, The Rich Kids of Beverly Hills, that, the cameras follow around these rich little pricks, driving $1 million cars, getting a helicopter ride to school, and people are getting pissed off at them because, they'll like write to them and go, you're what's wrong with this country. You're what's wrong with America. You're fucked up. You're just a show off. You're a piece of shit. And you know what? This is going to sound weird to you, but I'm actually on their side on this one. Believe it or not, I am siding with the rich pricks of Beverly Hills and other opulent areas of the world. And I'll tell you all about that when we come back from our first break. Our first song today was The Wall by the studio band Headliner. And this is Jump to This by Toolshed Productions. I'm Joe the Shirt. I'm off the cuff, and I'll be right back.
Yeah, for the streets. That's right. It's chaos. Are they ready? Slick beats. What? Y'all ain't ready. Show what this out about, boy. Yeah. Y'all ain't ready. Right now. If you ain't knowing that you fucking with a rude boy, I'm Mr. Mellow, I can never be a fool, boy. I'm not a rookie, had to grind and pay my dues, boy. Flowing like I'm Leroy, no, I'm not a decoy. Let's keep it bouncing like the Hooters on the stripper. I can never be a quitter. The goods I do deliver. These fellas claiming slick, but this nickel slicker. Your honey's looking good, better get her before I stick her. She like the way I spit, she attached like a sticker. Took only 5 minutes just to rub you out the picture. We standing as a unit and we calling the shots. Strategizing on my papers, trying to ball to be dry. Got a heater in the trunk, who I hate it, who plot. It ain't nothing but
Show the shirt is off the cuff once again. Welcome back. Oh, thank you. Okay, I am back, and amazingly enough, I am defending rich pricks showing off their cars, their helicopters, their houses, their penthouses, their solid gold bathtubs, their $60,000 dinner bills that they take a picture of, put it on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. Okay, why am I defending them? Okay, because they're not doing anything different than any of you other motherfuckers out there. Okay, that's why I'm defending them. Because they're not doing anything different than the rest of you. Or even me, for that matter, on occasion. Okay, what are they doing? They're showing what they're giving you pictures of what they had for dinner. They're showing pictures of where they are having fun, which is what you all do. Okay, let's be honest with you. Okay, be honest with me. If you somehow swung a ticket to the Oscars, you'd post about it on the social media. If you got to go to Aspen for the week on a ski vacation, you'd post it all over the internet as well. It's these people's lives, okay? I mean, I have to endure people putting on pictures of their fucking taco, all right? Which I've posted as well, but for different reasons, but. And there's nothing wrong with it, of you posting pictures of your food or posting pictures of where you are hanging out. Like my friend Vicky, she just went on a trip where she was headlining a cruise ship, as a comedian, and she posted pictures of the ship. She posted pictures of the ocean. She posted pictures of her stateroom. She posted pictures, of where she was, what she was doing. Why? Because that's what we do. We do stuff, we have fun, and we want to share it with others. These people are not doing anything different. They're just doing it more expensively than we are. That's all. They're just having a better time doing it. But because they're rich, we call them pricks. We say that they're what's wrong with them, wrong with this country. It's wrong with the world. But they're not actually doing anything different. They just have better means than we do. They just have more money. I don't get pissed off at them. Get pissed off at the people that are following them if you want to. It's like, get pissed off at them. It's like this. We're talking about a kid here he's 20 years old. He has 200,000 people following him, his every move. Where he goes on vacation, where he goes to a club, what he ate for dinner, who he's dating. He is not a celebrity in any way, shape, or form other than the fact that he's rich and he's letting you know about it. And then you guys go off and keep track of him. And then others of you who are keeping track of them get pissed off at them for doing what it is we all do anyway. So I think that's very hypocritical. All right, I think it's very hypocritical for us to get pissed off at these little rich pricks for doing exactly what we all do. Okay, I went on vacation. I posted pictures of my vacation. I posted a video of my vacation. I got lunch from my buddy Wesley's taco truck. You know what? I posted pictures of those tacos, not just because I want to let you know what the hell I'm eating, but because I wanted also, to put a little publicity out there for Wes. Okay? Because I very rarely post pictures of food. I personally think that's kind of dumb, actually. I don't care if you're rich or poor or whatever, but But if you're for me, if you're doing for publicity's sake for that particular person, that particular restaurant, well, that maybe it's different. Or maybe if you made the food yourself, how about that? If you made the food and you're proud of it, great. Let us know all about it. But yeah, these guys are honestly, they're not doing anything different at all. So cut them some slack, will you? And now. Speaking of possibly brand new rich pricks, actually, you may have heard the story about here in California last year where this couple were going for a little walk on their property. I mean, they're going for a walk on their property in California. You can actually go for a walk on your property. That means you've got enough property to go for a walk on. So you've got some money on you. Where they found a can with 1,427 gold coins, estimated value of $10 million. And it's looking more and more like they're going to be able to keep the coins and actually auction them off. And possibly for more than the original $10 million that was estimated, because it's believed that at least 2 or 3 of the coins have their own personal value of $1 to $2 million each. Okay? So they may even come out with even more money out of this, So, I mean, how does that feel for those poor pricks that I always see at the beach or like walking through a field with their little metal detectors going beep, 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 and they find a bottle cap, beep, 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 an old bullet, beep, 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 a Budweiser can, beep, 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 a Seiko watch, beep, beep, beep. And these fuckers are finding $10 million minimum worth of gold coins on their property. Oh, my God. Now, speaking of also potentially other rich pricks, one of the things that we want to talk about for a while is Bitcoin. We all have a decent idea of what Bitcoin is. For those of you who are a little ignorant, like I myself am, well, Bitcoin was invented some years ago, not all that long ago, as far as I think it was like 2008 or something, where some peer-to-peer group of programmers and whatever came up with the idea of a virtual currency that they could use to exchange, for this, that, or the other thing. Okay, and the way to get the bitcoins was to mine for bitcoins, and mining meant that you would solve problems online, and they were very complicated problems. And if you solve the problem, you get X amount of bitcoins or a virtual currency. And it took off a lot further than other people thought it would. And what was really interesting about it was that it could be used to buy real things. Okay, and it began to have a value that actually exceeded actual live currencies. Okay. I mean, the average Bitcoin is actually worth more than the average dollar or euro. And I mean by a lot. Okay? Now, recently, there was a story that was released where it was thought that one guy from Temple City here in California is believed to be the man behind Bitcoin. One Dorian Satoshi Nakamoto is said to be the inventor of Bitcoin. And, he says he's not. He's 64 years old, and he says that he's got nothing to do with Bitcoin. And up until past February, when his son mentioned it to him, he had never even heard of Bitcoin. Now, this comes in direct contrast to what the reporter on the story is saying, wherein, let's see, according to this, hold on. Let's see. Hold on. I gotta make sure I get this right. Allegedly, according to some interview that the reporter did with Nakamoto, this is a quote from Nakamoto. "I am no longer involved in that," referring to Bitcoin, "and I cannot discuss it. It's been turned over to other people. They are in charge of it now. I no longer have any connection." Of course, that goes in direct contrast to what he said later on, where he said, "I'd never heard of Bitcoin until my son mentioned it to me." So, and allegedly, this was said to the reporter, in front of 2 police officers. So it's still a little up in the air as to, whether or not he invented Bitcoin or not. But he is denying it, and he's hired lawyers to fight the allegations that he invented Bitcoin. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, well, why wouldn't you want to be known as the guy that invented Bitcoin? Okay? I mean, we're talking about virtual currency. We're talking about fake currency that's worth more than real currency. And if you want to know how much real currency we're talking about, 850,000 Bitcoins is worth about $450 to $500 million. Okay? And so we're talking about a lot of money. And that $450 million that I'm talking about, the 850,000 Bitcoins, represents only 7% of the actual number of Bitcoins that are in circulation right now. So again, you're wondering, well, why wouldn't this guy want to be known as the guy that invented Bitcoin? Well, a lot of reasons, actually. Among them being that, 850,000 Bitcoins disappeared from an exchange group recently, the Mt. Gox Incorporated. It's an American affiliate of a bankrupt Bitcoin exchange that lost track of hundreds of millions of dollars worth of virtual currency that had its U.S. assets frozen by a judge in Chicago. Now, that's one reason right there, because now, if Bitcoin has value of about $450 million, then somebody's responsible for that money somehow, because let's say when a bank gets robbed, it's FDIC insured, here in the United States anyway, so that, if the bank gets robbed, you don't lose your money. You get your money back. It's the federal government, guarantees that, if a bank robber walks into the bank and steals your, $75,000, that you're putting towards your retirement or the new boat or whatever, that, they didn't actually rob your money. They robbed the bank's money, and that you're getting your money back, But Bitcoin is not a real currency. So who's responsible for that? Does that mean that you can sue the exchange? That means you can sue the person that invented Bitcoin? And also another question is, most currency is backed by a government, a federal government of some sort or another. Here in the United States, you have the United States. Over in Europe, you have the European Union that does the euro, and over in some of the more Slavic countries, Russia and all, they have their own Russian union. And so it's government backed. So if something happens to the money, you're not shit out of luck here. But whereas with Bitcoin, you may be, because it's not, as far as I know, recognized by other countries as an official currency. Now, I do know for a fact that some stores, and some online stores especially, do accept Bitcoin. Hell, the comic book store in my neighborhood, they put up a sign recently, "We now accept Bitcoin." I'm like, well, maybe not for fucking long. So there's plenty of reasons that you don't want to be known as the guy that invented Bitcoin. One, you may be financially liable for losses. Two, you may be sued by several governments for putting out a currency where in most countries only that particular government is allowed to issue a currency. So if you have a virtual currency, I mean, it's basically reduces it to bartering in a lot of ways. But if people assess a value to it, can they still sue you for it? So that's where I was going with this, because that's, you're in trouble, man. That's what I'm saying, is you're in trouble. And we've got more stories coming up. I'm going to take a little break right here. I still haven't got, I got to Kanye, I got to Rich Pricks, I haven't gotten to Killer Pussy yet, all right? And Lord knows I know you all want to hear about Killer Pussy. Who doesn't want to hear about Killer Pussy? In any case, here's another song. This one's by Trenchtown, and it's called Killing Time. I'm Joe the Shirt. I'm off the cuff, and I'll be right back.
Just killing time.
It's pathetic.
show. The shirt is off the cuff. Welcome back. All right. That was Trench Town and Killing Time. Talking about a lot of stuff today. A lot of stuff that's been catching my eye. Now, here's one for you guys. You may have heard about the earthquake that we had here in Los Angeles on Monday. That was at 6:25 a.m. And I was awake at 6:25 a.m. as I am pretty much every day. Whether it's to go to work or walk the dog or just talk to my girlfriend, the Russian, on the phone while she's driving to work, I'm usually up. Okay, I'm up, and I was at my computer, right here in the off the cuff studios, or also known as our dining room table, and I was just fucking around with the computer. She was in the bathroom, and for about 6 seconds. My entire world was like I was in a snow globe being shaken by a British nanny, okay? That's what my entire world felt like. I mean, the shit was bouncing in my house, okay? I was bouncing in my house. They originally said it was a 4.7, got downgraded to a 4.4. I don't give a flying fuck, okay? My house was shaking. It shouldn't do that. Obviously, that was the biggest earthquake that I've ever experienced in my life. And I've been out here, God, a good almost 20 years now. And I can only remember maybe 3 other earthquakes at all. And none of them lasted anywhere near as long. Not even a little bit, okay? But I definitely felt this one. And so did my girlfriend. And the dog, he just kept sleeping. He wasn't worried about it, apparently. But, yeah, mind you, it didn't make me want to think about my relationship with God or anything, or, karma or my mortality or anything like that. I was just thinking, God, I hope the ceiling fan doesn't fall right on top of me and kill me. That's all I was thinking about. But it was it was the biggest, this particular tumbler was the biggest quake on this particular fault in the last 80 years of the fault being recorded. So they were a little scared about it. The people that keep track of this stuff, they were a little scared. What's going on out there? Well, you may have heard about that the founder of Pinkberry, what's his fame? Let's see, Young Lee is not passing go, not collecting $200. He's going straight to jail for the for the beating of a homeless man a couple of years ago. Apparently, Young was driving his car, an SUV, with a friend of his and his fiancée. Homeless guy flashed a tattoo of 2 stick figures having sex at them. Mr. Young took it disrespectfully, turned around, and proceeded to beat him with a pipe. Broken arm, cut his head several times, and in response to that, the judge gave him a solid 7 years, also known as the maximum, for that particular crime. And I'm thinking, bravo, fuck you, Pinkberry guy, fuck you. Okay. Other news going on here for some of our favorite fast food places. You may have heard Quiznos, Sbarro's, and believe it or not, Hot Dog on a Stick have all filed for bankruptcy. That's right. They filed for bankruptcy. And that makes me a little sad, I think, because I liked Quiznos' product. I liked the toasted bread and all that, but they just weren't keeping up. They weren't keeping up with the number 1 sandwich maker in the world. And by the way, no, it's not McDonald's. It's actually Subway. Subway is the number 1 sandwich company in the world, with the most stores of any other restaurant in the world. I'm talking, they have almost twice as many stores as McDonald's. Mind you, McDonald's still makes about twice as much money. So, not feeling bad for McDonald's, but yeah, everybody filing for Chapter 11, man. Which I find amazing, given this next story, that all these fast food cheapy places are going out of business. They're filing for Chapter 11 anyway. When there's a recent report about how Americans tip What do you think is a good tip? You know, the traditional school of thought has always been you tip 15% on the bill, which is pretty much what I usually do. Sometimes I'll tip more if the service was particularly good. Sometimes I'll tip less if the service is particularly bad. I'll tip nothing if I was completely disappointed. And there's certain things I don't tip on. Like I will tip on the meal. I will tip on the drinks. And I will even give you a tip if I have a discount. Okay? Like for instance, like there's a bar that I go to that some of the bartenders are particularly friendly with me and my girlfriend. And they give us, you know, quite a bit extra booze in our glass here and there. Maybe they don't charge me for a beer every time, you know, and I will tip well better than 20%, okay? I'll tell you that right now, you know, and I take care of them. They take care of us. I'm good with that. But there's this one time where I went to a dinner and a show where me and my ex-wife and another couple, we were there for one of their, I think it was one of their birthdays. And we all had dinner. We all had drinks. You know, we got the bill. And I left, I think it was about 17, 18% on the bill, right? And then the waitress comes back to me with the bill unprocessed. And I'm like, what's going on? She's like, well, yeah, this isn't 15%. I'm like, excuse me? It's actually more than 15%. And she goes, yeah, but you didn't tip on the cover fee, the cover charge to get in, because there was a show going on, you know, and we paid $10 a head to watch this stage show, you know, and I'm like, well, that's a ticket to get in, and that's not part of my meal or my drinks, which is what I'm paying for now. I paid to get in. You know, when I go to the movies and I fork over to the guy, you know, $23 for me and my girlfriend, you know, to get in, I don't give them an extra $3 for giving me the ticket. You know, when I order, you know, when we got tickets for the Book of Mormon, and we handed over like, you know, $160 for our tickets, we didn't give them an extra $20. Okay, and so I called the maitre d' over, and they asked me what was wrong, and I'm like, yeah, you know, I gave this person a tip here for this amount on my bill, and then she comes back to me and tells me basically that I'm cheap because I didn't also tip on the cover charge to get in at the door, you know, and I'm like, what right does she have to go around calling me cheap? I mean, here's the thing, okay? You're a fucking waitress. You make $8 an hour, okay? You get a tip because I fucking feel like giving you one, not because you think you're entitled to one, and certainly not because you're entitled to one. You think you're entitled to one on the door. Anyway, that's enough of that rant. But anyway, it's being found that Americans are getting cheaper when it comes to dining out. According to this, of the 2,600 people surveyed, less than 20% of let's see, hold on. Americans tip their food service. Most Americans tip less than 20% on their dinner, and I'm thinking, well, 20% isn't the standard. 15% is, and 10%, and that 1 in 10 people, 10% of all diners tip nothing at all. Nearly 60% of those who said they tip less than 20% said the reason was that they couldn't afford on top of the cost of the meal. Now, I don't think you should have to tip 20%. Okay, the standard is 15%. So, you know, you can go fuck yourself if you want 20%, or you give me better service. Respondents were asked as to how things have changed. Nearly half of them said they tip less now in the past. Most said the reason was that the financial situation had changed. Some people did respond that they sometimes tip less if the service was bad. And it was found that, generally speaking, that higher tips are pretty rare. Only 23% of Americans tip their food servers 20% or more. Again, I think that 20% is being quite generous. and not at all the standard. It's certainly not mandatory. Tipping is not mandatory, but it is expected and it is appreciated. As someone that's worked in the service sector, as a bartender and as a food server, yeah, sure, we appreciate it. And yeah, you know what? Yes, it's true. The server should give you the best service possible, whether or not they get a tip, okay? But I do think that if you're going to... But I do feel that if you do get really, really excellent service, where that server really goes out of their way for you, then yeah, hand them a little extra. There's nothing wrong with that. Really quick, couple of quick stories here. One more quick story here. Some of you may have heard that the LA Marathon went on here not too long ago. I think it was a week and a half ago. There was a lot of worry in Boston about the Boston Marathon, I think, which is coming up because, of course, of the terrorist attack that happened there, and they're putting in the extra security and the extra watch outs for that, and they're on edge there. Here in Los Angeles, I did not hear a single story or about a single precaution for the LA Marathon. I think mostly they're not worried about anybody trying to bomb the LA Marathon because, quite simply, the people here are already dead on the inside. There's no need to make them dead on the outside as well. You know what I'm talking about? If you lived here, believe me, you'd know. And finally, killer pussy. This is actually about a cat. There was a 911 call in Portland, Oregon, which began with a little embarrassment. Guy calls Portland PD. He actually calls the police now. And he says, quote, yeah, I have a kind of a particular emergency here. Apparently, one Lee Palmer called on Sunday to report that his 22-pound Himalayan cat had gone berserk. Said that the cat attacked a 7-month-old child and then trapped Palmer's family in their bedroom because after the cat, had allegedly attacked the kid, Mr. Lee Palmer responded by kicking the cat in the ass. The cat didn't take it well and went after the entire family, who then barricaded themselves in the bedroom of their apartment. And the cat was allegedly ramming the door, scratching at it, and pounding on it, trying to get in to get to them. Mr. Palmer reported to the police, quote, we aren't safe around the cat. We're trapped in the bedroom. He won't let us out the door. He's very, 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 very hostile. Police officer wanted to know if the 7-month-old needed medical attention. Apparently not. It was a superficial wound, puncture wound in the baby's head. Mr. Palmer tried to call animal control, but they didn't do anything about it. According to him, the cat had a, quote, history of violence, end quote, which is typically not associated with a breed known as the Himi. Himalayans are not known for being violent. According to Mr. Lee Palmer, he, quote, I'm going to have to fight this cat to get out of the bedroom. He's kind of violent already. He's charging us. He's at our bedroom door. Do you hear that? To which the police officer responded, yeah, I hear him. And he says, I know it's kind of scary. Let's just try to stay calm as we can, okay? Mr. Palmer then told the police officer, please tell them to be careful. He then let out a single hollow laugh. Police were able to get in there and apprehend the cat using a dog leash collar. This is a dog snare. Mr. Palmer was once again quoted as saying, I swear I've never seen anything like it. Yes, his entire family being held captive by this killer pussy, 22-pound Himalayan. 22 pounds, that's a big fucking cat. Jesus Christ. That's some of the biggest pussy I've ever heard of in my life. That's big pussy. That's a lot of pussy right there. You can say that on TV. Big pussy, that's a big pussy. Because you're referring to a cat. But how embarrassing does that have to be? Could you imagine? So his baby's 7 months old, so I'm guessing this is a younger guy. Not talking about an old guy here. We're talking about a younger guy. Possibly even younger than myself. He's got a 7-month-old, and he's scared of his cat. I'm scared of the pussy. Please keep the pussy away from me. Come here, please, and take the pussy away. Mr. Lee Palmer does not know what's going to happen with his cat. Obviously, he can't keep it. In any case, that's my time today. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the show. This last song is from Urban D. Speclos,
and this is their song, The Principle. I'm Joe the Shirt. I've been Off the Cuff. Thank you for listening.
Night Owls 3, Syntax, Flavor Alliance.
The world's about exploitation, sexploitation. The media got us overloaded, we can't keep our concentration. Much less our morals, paint pornographic murals. This joint is like Sodom and Gomorrah. Nobody reads the Torah. Let's read Dora, the Explorer. Maybe she'll cure you from your ills. This whole planet gives me the chills, even though it's global warming. The Gulf of Mexico in my backyard storming. In the meantime, cats are swarming to get a piece of what we do. Authentic and true, a hip-hop focused ministry. Wow, that's new. Hey, let's send the camera crew.
We'd like to sign you for a reality